Hey guys, welcome back from the Shift Short. This is Daniel. You get to see me at work now, in person. I'm hiding here in a little cave, so this isn't my normal spot, but it's a nice secluded area where I have all my shit spread out everywhere because it's been a hell of a day. Today, I just want to jump right in what we're talking about, and I want to talk about the difference between quiet quitting and just walking away. Now, I know we throw around the term a lot in this industry. Well, that's above my pay grade or that's not my job. Well, I get that and I understand that there's a time and a place for that and setting boundaries for, what is genuinely expected of you versus what isn't. And liability's sake and so forth. Not getting into all of that, If it's not within your scope of practice to be inserting and removing urinary catheters, don't do it. That quite literally is not your job. But there's a lot of gray area in this job where you can go above and beyond. You can go the extra mile for your patients, for your partners, for your boss. And I think we've made this thing of quiet quitting kind of cool. Like we've made it sound cool. And I'm just going to read just a basic definition that I found. It was on techtarget.com because I wanted to have just some formal definition to relay to you guys. And it says, quiet quitting doesn't mean an employee has left their job, but rather has limited their tasks to those strictly within their job description to avoid working longer hours. They want to do the bare minimum to get the job done and set clear boundaries to improve work-life balance. And I'm all for, especially for your mental health, you need to set boundaries with work. Because if you die today, work's going to have your position filled quickly. They'll show up at the funeral. There'll be a thing about it. All the ambulances will be there. But at the end of the day, what you have of your own at home, the relationships you have, the life that you have built, that's what's important. That's the real shit. That's the real good shit. That's the stuff that no employer should be able to touch. Nobody at work should be able to take that from you. And so having this this mentality of, oh, I'm just going to do the bare minimum, that's it. I don't think that's the way that you preserve your peace. I'll say that very, very specifically. Doing the bare minimum work is not the key to preserving your peace. If anything, I would say the people that I see that are the most peaceful about their job, about their life, about where they are in their career are the people that do go the extra mile. They do put in the extra work. They put in the extra work at home with their spouse, with their kids. They put in the extra work at work to do it correctly. It doesn't mean they're a kiss ass. It doesn't mean they're sucking up to somebody. They just go the extra mile to do their job well. And we're hardwired to do that, like men and women. And okay, you can get into the stereotypes between the two, and I'm not interested in that conversation. Not right now. But point being, you don't find satisfaction from half-assing something. You don't. Like having some sense of accomplishment is crucial on a very basic primal human level to being happy. And just this, oh, well, you can't make me do that extra. No, but why? Why do we need to make it that way? Go above and beyond for your patients. And that said, you still draw those boundaries of the work. You do draw the lines to say, hey, this is a hard boundary for me, for my well-being, for my family's well-being. Awesome. Cool. Do that. That's the way it should be. And sometimes it's productive, sometimes it's not. But instead of just this, oh, well, I'm just going to do the bare minimum, that's it, and you can't make me do any more. You sound like a fucking toddler. You really do. That's not, and I guarantee that's not actually boosting your mental health. It really isn't. It's making you feel good in the moment that you told them off. Okay, cool. No one fucking cares. If you don't do it right, they'll find someone else to do it. And eventually you'll be out of a job anyway. But so I see quiet quitting handled from that perspective, where people use it as this like self-righteous thing they do. But then there's also the people who are terrified of losing their job. So they're like, okay, well, I need to make sure that I just, I do the bare minimum to make sure I don't get in trouble. Make sure that I'm checking all the boxes, not getting in trouble. And that's it. Well, they can't fire me if I'm just doing my job, if I'm only staying in my lane. I'm not advocating for that either. I'm not. That's not the point. There's a quote. I know we've talked about the book The Courage to Be Disliked, and that's something that I want recurring in all my shift shorts that I do this month. And there was one quote that, I mean, obviously it extends into all relationships, not just work, but I wanted to bring it up in this context. It says, living in fear of one's relationships falling apart is an unfree way to live, in which one is living for other people. Let's face it, if you're not happy where you are, leave. There's no shame in it. There's nothing scary about that. You have options. You should maintain options. You should never be in a place that gets you stuck. Maybe you've gotten used to subpar protocols. I have seen this with friends of mine. They stay in places where they get used to subpar protocols, and then they feel like they can't go somewhere else. Okay, well, now they're stuck. Now they're imprisoned by those protocols, and they're terrified of leaving. You can always, if you have options, then you're never afraid of bad things happening. Like, you're whether it's you're dating somebody and you're not 100% sure that things are going to go well, but you need to embrace that if things don't go well, you'll be okay. Same thing goes with the work. If things don't go well, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. If they're going to fire you because you pissed them off and did something in the best interest of the patient, why would you want to stay there to begin with? Put some heart into what you do. Put some effort into it. And don't do this quiet quitting thing because it's lazy and it's just, and I've been there. I get it. You get pissed off. You get frustrated. You're like, well, fuck you too, and you want to just skate by. Like, I get it. It's fucking hard. We're all fucking tired. We're all just pushed to the edge. And have been, even before COVID. Like, we act like COVID was this thing that slaughtered us. And don't get me wrong, it was fucking bad. But it's been this way before. We've been busy and pushed to the edge before. That's the way EMS has been. COVID just kind of, popped up and said, hey, we'll just make it, really bad for a little bit. And then back to our regularly scheduled programming of hell. So it's okay to walk away. If you're not happy somewhere, you don't need to stay there. You don't need to stay in the place that makes you feel miserable. And even if their protocols are the best around, even if you have some of the best coworkers there, if you feel miserable coming into work, it's not worth it. It's not worth your peace. And yes, you have to put food on the table, and peace of mind doesn't pay the bills. But people people have sometimes kind of looked at me funny about some of the job changes I've made over the years. And I tell them, I was like, I follow what my priorities are, and those priorities shift. Family dynamics change, schedule needs change, all those things change. But I always go where I feel that I'm happy and fulfilled, because before I got into EMS, I spent a lot of time in jobs that I was not happy in, and I brought that shit home with me, and it sucked ass. And I've been in EMS jobs that I hated. and that I was more than excited to leave. It's not worth your peace of mind. It really isn't. Guess what? If you're a paramedic or an EMT, there are tons of jobs out there for you. Tons. So don't worry about that. Don't stress about that. Like, I've always said, and okay, this is speaking strictly in the part of South Carolina I'm in. I'm sure there's exceptions elsewhere, but I've always said if you're a paramedic out here who can't get a job, it's probably because you've burned bridges everywhere you've gone. You've done this quiet quitting thing. You've made things worse than they needed to be. That's not helping anybody. It's a lot better to job hop and have a reputation of doing your job well than to just be like, whatever. For people to be indifferent about you. Like, I would rather be hated by people. And I mean, there's plenty of people that do. I'd rather be hated by people than have people be indifferent about it when I walk in the room. I would much rather be polarizing than be, whatever. So for your own sake, don't do this quiet quitting thing. All you're going to do is make it worse. You're going to make your own mental state worse. Yes, you should draw boundaries with work. Yes, they should respect those boundaries. You should have priorities outside of work. But when you're at work, don't just look at it as you're showing up and checking a box. Actually do something. Actually contribute. Actually make a difference. And I don't say that in a gung-ho or lighthearted way. Like, go be significant. Even if it's just how you talk to people. If you treat your patients with extra compassion, cool, do that well. If you need to go study up on some protocols, even on the way to a call, open your phone. Well, not flip open your phone. Open your phone and flip through the protocols on the way to the call. If it's a pediatric, you're scared, you've got 5 minutes on the way to the call, flip open the protocols for whatever is pertinent that you're going to. That's actually caring about doing the job. Apathy, all quiet quitting does is encourage apathy, and apathy creates this lack of joy and lack of dedication. And that's only going to make it worse. It's going to make the job worse. It's going to make you hate it more. I'm truly at a point in my career where, no, I don't want to stay full-time in EMS, but I am happy where I am. I feel like I do enjoy my job. Well, at both places that I work. And no place is perfect. No place is ever going to be perfect. If you're wandering around and bitching about everything and that's like your reason to leave, guess what? Every place is going to suck about something. But you focus on doing your job well so that when you walk in the door of any of these places, you have some credibility. Your reputation follows you. And for your own mental state, do something that you're proud of. Put effort into it. If you don't want to stay in it, go find a different career. Go take the time. You can learn a ton of free things on YouTube. You can go read books. You can go to school. You can do a number of different things. If this job doesn't satisfy you anymore at all, period, leave. And I'm not just saying that from some sense of like, again, gung-ho, like, oh, Rescue Ricky, wear my t-shirts on all day, every day. No, just it's not worth it. To do a job that's as hard as this is and see the shit that we see, if you don't find any level of satisfaction in it, then just leave. Go find something else to do. Find something that you actually are excited about, and you will see your mental health improve by doing what you love. Go do what you love. If it's this, then do it all the way. Be an exceptional provider. Fuck the people that are going to get you in trouble for doing your job. Fuck the people that are going to give you shit for acting in the patient's best interest. Obviously, that doesn't mean you play fast and loose with every fucking protocol you've got. My point is, do what you need to do within your scope of practice for your patients. And if you made a judgment call that was in the best interest of the patient, don't ever feel bad about that. Not ever once. Anybody gives you shit about it, just laugh. That their life is so small that bothers them and upsets their day. So, go be significant. Go do something. Don't quiet quit. Don't do this whole passive-aggressive bullshit. Either walk away or put your heart into it. And that's all I got for you guys tonight. Be safe. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.